Hi, welcome back to QuickSchools. My name is Azroy, and in this video we're going to go over the grading subject setup and gradebook. So let's start by logging in as the original school administrator. We have to start by first turning on the feature, and we do that by going to the features page and then clicking on the checkbox next to report cards/gradebook. You'll notice that the subjects are now the models are all turned on. Let's configure this a little further. I'm going to have myself enter grades for all the teachers. I'm going to turn on the gradebook for all the teachers, and I'm going to let myself print report cards, and I'm also going to allow the principal to print report cards. Save. And now we have a whole bunch of new modules available to us as the administrator. Let's start by setting up subjects. As the administrator, I've set up myself to set up subjects for all the teachers within the school. So I'm going to set up some subjects for Miss Knows a Lot. Wait, I'm going to set up some subjects for myself. Let's say I teach first grade computers. That subject. Okay, once I've added a subject, I go to subject enrollment, and I can enroll students into my class. Automatically, when I create a subject for first grade, all the first grade students are enrolled in my class. I can unenroll students from the first grade, or I can add students from other classes. So let's add Bill Crimson to my class. So now Bill Crimson is in my class and Watson is not. Be sure to save this. So now this list of students becomes the foundation or the basis for my gradebook, for my computers class. So if I go to gradebook for myself, I see my list of students and virtual gradebook. If I have multiple subjects, I can select them from here, and let's just start by creating an assignment. Assignment 1. Let's say this was from this past Monday. Give everyone a grade. Save it. We can show a letter grade, and we can also change the grading scale. I'll show you how to change the scale. This is the default scale for the school. You can also create a custom scale specific to yourself. Let's add a quiz. Pop quiz. There's our pop quiz. Let's say this was for Tuesday. Low scoring quiz. And let's just add one more quiz. Lots of quizzes this week. Oops. It needs to have a specific name. Pop quiz 2. Okay, this can be for the 3rd. If I see something is amiss, I can just click on the part that's wrong. Save it. That's done. 3rd. Let's put in some grades. Save. So now we can sort by name, which is what we've done here, or we can sort by date. So we see Sam 1 is first, then pop quiz 2. Let's add one more. Assignment 2. This will be an assignment. There we go. So this is by date. So which is why assignment 2 appears after Pop Quiz 2. Finally, let's create a formula. So let's say you want to create a midterm grade that's maybe 30% assignments and 70% quizzes. You'll notice that you can select individual quizzes or individual assignments. If you select the one outside, it checks everything inside. Click OK, and here we have our midterm grade. So let's set up some more subjects for Miss Knows a Lot. Oops, subject setup. First grade English. First grade math. And fourth grade science. Go. Again, when you go to subject enrollment for Miss Knows a Lot, they're all enrolled. You can unenroll or enroll from different grades, and we should be good to go for subjects. So the last part, once subjects are set up, you can now start setting up the report cards. So we're going to go to grading setup, grading cycle setup. Again, we see the big buttons that tell you what you need to do. This grading flow corresponds to this screen here, select workflow, and this grading details corresponds to this configure grading criteria. So let's start by select grading flow. Which grading flow shall we use? Subject teacher, homeroom teacher to principal, subject teacher to homeroom teacher, or subject teacher to principal. Let's use this one over here. Alright, back to setup. Again, we see the big button. Goes to configure grading criteria. I can enable which parts to turn on. Let's say I want the grade and maybe comments. And then for the homeroom teacher, some comments as well, tardy and absent. Save, back to setup. So now that we've configured the workflow and the grading criteria, we're ready to start our report cards. So we call this the grading cycle. You may call it a marking period. It basically corresponds to every time you want to print out a report card. So I'm going to call this first one 2009, 2010, 2009-2010 first term grades. That's it. We are now ready to start grading. We'll go over that flow in the next video. Look out for that.